All right, today is Monday, March 18th. And, well, over the weekend we saw the first country in the Eurozone that is going to raid depositors' accounts to help pay for a bank out, for a bailout. Now, I think this was directly targeted, or specifically targeted in Cyprus, for the main reason that the majority of the money that's going to be stolen from Cyprus bank accounts is not from citizens from within the Eurozone. You've got a lot of Russian money and a lot of British money, primarily British soldiers' money, that's in Cyprus. And they say they're only taking 7% from everybody under 100,000 euro, and they've upped it now to 13% for people with over 100,000. Now, I'm saying this is a beta test. We're hearing this everywhere, that this is just the first step. My point is that if you didn't see this coming, if you're surprised by this, then you're not paying attention, or you don't think that these criminal bankers are going to go through with the actual theft of everybody's money. Now, they're stealing money to help offset the cost of a bailout. Now, they're just going to take it outright from the depositors, but yet when the IMF in Germany, the ECB, give them the money, they're not going to just give Cyprus, $13 billion worth of bailout money. They're going to loan it to them. So why does the IMF and the ECB get paid back with interest, but the depositors won't be? It's because it's all designed to destroy the middle class. It's only the middle class that has the ability and has the funds to go and do protests and street actions and try to wake up their neighbors. The people who are really rich are more than likely invested in the system and are dependent on the system staying the way it is to keep them wealthy. And the poor are so broke that they can't make much of a change. They can't afford to protest, or they can't afford to go and spend any money to help wake people up. What I'm doing with this information that's coming out about this bailout is I'm using the amount of bank runs that we see come after this as a barometer of how stupid everybody else is. If we only see 1 or 2 days of heavy withdrawals from Spain and Italy and Portugal and the rest of these pigs in the Eurozone, and I honestly don't expect any runs, even micro runs in the U.S. If we don't see a whole bunch of people going and pulling their money out of these banks, then they're going to set up for the next bank holiday to be an even greater confiscation, probably in the tune of anywhere between 40 and 60%. And if you read some of the articles, 40% is what the ECB and the IMF were actually asking of the Cyprus banks to confiscate. And also notice that the parliament can't do anything about it. The banks are going ahead with this plan to take the money, even though there's not been a vote in the Cyprus legislature. They were supposed to have a vote, but they didn't have enough votes to pass it. So of course they're going to delay the vote. and the banks are going to steal the money anyways. It's the legislature is just it's a potted plant. It's a show. It's so the people have someone to blame other than the bankers, and the people might go and vote those legislators out and get a whole new crew of criminals to take their place and to continue even more and bigger confiscations in the future. So what we want to look for is how many more people are pulling their money out. I don't expect any money to be pulled out in the United States. The majority of the people in America are not going to wake up until they try to use that little plastic card at the gas station or at the grocery store, and that thing is not going to work. It's going to say either insufficient funds or the whole system will be down. So that's what we should be watching. Are there going to be bank runs in Italy and Spain? If the people are smart, if the people are paying attention, they will pull all of their money out of these banks. But frankly, I don't think that there's going to be a lot of it. There might be a little bit. Probably won't be a lot of bank runs. Remember, if we, the people, want to put an end to all of this shit, we can do it very simply by walking away from this banking system and converting what cash and whatever paper assets you may have into hard assets like gold or silver, or just keep cash. Because you got to remember, at the end of the day, 97% of all currency, or at least in U.S. currency, are just digits. They're not. There's not even the printed cash to hand out to people. The printed cash is far more scarce than what comes on a digital card. So if you can even get your hands on the physical paper cash, you're doing a whole lot better than everybody else. And if you can take that cash early and get it into I would say primarily silver, you're going to be way, way, way ahead of the game. So we can't expect to see gold and silver prices go up, because we're not going to see those prices go up until there is a default in the LBMA and the COMEX, until there's massive failure to delivers and they're settling everybody's accounts in paper. And we look at the amount of bank deposit withdrawals. That is the barometer of the intelligence of the people. That's what I'm looking at. So we'll check in.